Hello and welcome to your Newsmax Now update. I'm John Bachman. President Obama takes his case to the public on Syria beginning today. He'll have one-on-one interviews with TV network anchors and he'll address the nation in a televised speech tomorrow. But Syrian President Bashar Assad is speaking to the American public first. He sat down with CBS's Charlie Rose for an exclusive interview. And in that interview, Assad says the U.S. has zero proof his government launched a chemical weapons attack that the U.S. says killed more than 1,400 people. And Assad gave a cryptic warning about what would happen if the U.S. does strike Syria.
Will there be attacks against American bases in the Middle East if there's an airstrike?
You should expect everything. You should expect everything. Not necessarily through the government. It's not only the governments are not the only player in this region. You have different parties, you have different factions, you have different ideology. You have everything in this region now. So you have to expect that.
Meanwhile, today, thousands of Syrians took to the streets to protest potential military strikes. The demonstrators were carrying flags and posters with anti-American slogans, and some were even showing support for Assad. Meanwhile, the White House admits it lacks irrefutable evidence of a chemical weapons attack by the Assad regime, but it says this passes the common sense test. But that might not be enough for lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The president is still pushing. He has reached across the aisle and dined with half dozen Senate Republicans last night. He will travel to the Hill on Tuesday to lunch with Senate Democrats before his televised address. Administration officials have also been meeting with dozens of House members to try and gain their support as well. And U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry met with British Foreign Minister William Hague today in London as he continues to press the international community for more support. However, the British Parliament did fail to pass a motion 10 days ago that would have allowed the UK to join a military strike against Syria. And there has been very little support from Europe as a whole. The EU is now also asking the U.S. to hold off on any strikes, but Kerry says the world has no choice but to act.
The world has stood together against the use of chemical weapons, and we need to hear an appropriate outcry as we think back on those moments of history when large numbers of people have been killed because the world was silent.
Meanwhile, Kerry also met with Arab League representatives in Paris yesterday. He says Saudi Arabia has decided to endorse the U.S. strikes, and he expects other Arab countries to issue similar statements within the next 24 hours. But none of those countries are actually expected to join a military strike. And next up on your Newsmax Now update, a masterful performance from Serena Williams. See what made this U.S. Open Finals so much different from her other matches. And a Newsmax exclusive with former U.S. Ambassador Eric Edelman, his message for war-weary Americans about Syria. Next.
Hello, my name is Fred Fleitz and I'm the managing editor of Leaguenet. You've probably seen our name preceding some of the stories you read on Newsmax or heard Leaguenet referenced on Fox News, C-SPAN, or CNN. Perhaps you've asked yourself, what is Leaguenet? Leaguenet is an acronym for the Langley Intelligence Group Network, a private Washington, D.C. based service that provides global intelligence, in-depth analysis, and detailed forecasting. Leaguenet's staff and advisors include former CIA officers, national security experts, presidential advisors, and top-level government officials from around the world. I myself held several national security posts for the U.S. government during my 25-year career with the Central Intelligence Agency, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the U.S. Department of State, and the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Our lead advisor is General Michael Hayden, the former director of the CIA. He is joined by former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations John Bolton and former chairman of the National Intelligence Council and Special Assistant to President Ronald Reagan Fritz Ehrmann, former U.S. Ambassador to Venezuela Otto Reich, and former clandestine service officer Frederick Russman. Former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee Peter Hoekstra also joined our advisory board staff. Every day, our goal is to use our expertise, our resources, and our worldwide staff to take the pulse of the ever-changing political and economic landscape and the threats we face on a daily basis. Whether you are following global events for your portfolio or business, or just interested in the world around you, Leaguenet provides what you need to know to keep up with global events. There are many. Every day, Leaguenet members receive the Morning Brief, a daily email that provides summaries and links to our daily analysis to keep you up to date on Leaguenet's assessments. Leaguenet members receive unrestricted access to Leaguenet's secure database of global analysis. All of our special reports, previous analyses, and exclusive video interviews with intelligence insiders are available to members 24 hours a day. But you also get top-notch analysis that resembles the President's Daily Brief, the classified intelligence assessment delivered to the President of the United States every morning. Leaguenet also sends breaking news emails to our membership list. If there is a development of global proportions or a terror alert, our subscribers are always the first to know. I hope you now have a better understanding of what Leaguenet is, but more importantly, recognize how truly invaluable Leaguenet can be. As the old saying goes, knowledge is power.
Join Leaguenet for $1. Go to Leaguenet.com.
Attention hip implant patients. Are you in constant pain? Have you received a letter from your doctor about your implant? Have you had or need a revision surgery? Do you have high levels of metal, chromium, or cobalt in your blood? Over 90,000 hip implant devices have been recalled due to defects and failures resulting in revision or replacement surgery. If you have a recalled hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-460-0920 to see if your implant is affected by the recalls. If you or a loved one has a defective or recalled hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-460-0920. That's 800-460-0920. Protect your legal rights today. Call 800-460-0920. This is an advertisement, not valid in all states. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. iLawsuit.com is an advertising group that represents lawyers advertising their services and is a free matching service for consumers. It is not a law firm or lawyer referral service.
And welcome back. Serena Williams has won her 5th U.S. Open tennis championship. Williams needed a 3rd set to defeat Victoria Azarenka. It was the first time in the tournament that Serena lost a set. This is the 2nd straight U.S. Open title for Williams. She defeated Azarenka in the title match last year as well. It is also her 17th career Grand Slam title. That men's final is today at 5 p.m. Now back to the topic of Syria. Polls show that most Americans are very much against any sort of military action, even if the Assad regime used chemical weapons. But that resistance comes at a cost, according to former U.S. Ambassador to Turkey, Eric Edelman, during this Newsmax exclusive.
We can't be indifferent to the outcome, I think, in Syria, and in particular, we can't be in doubt about the outcome of the use of chemical weapons that goes without a U.S. response.
And to see more of our exclusive interviews and content and the latest on Syria, stay with Newsmax.com. This has been your Newsmax Now update for August 9th. I'm John Bachman. Take care.